are back, July 20th. I know you and I talked a little bit, kind of go through stuff we've tentatively agreed on.
Right.
Tuition incentive, the 6 hours at 150, same camp limit. I will be curious to see how that goes. I just
As will
am
we.
curious.
Yep.
Supplemental edition, obviously Vikings United. Plan time, will add travel time, will not count in calculation of plan time. Discretionary leave, tentative agreement to move to the 12 days each year being discretionary. Same criteria as before regarding selling back remaining days awarded each year, with the criteria having at least 30 days after the sell back. And then that takes us, unless I'm forgetting something, I don't think I am. That takes us to the last proposal that we had made.
Correct. Our proposal was a 4.5% or a 4% increase, with the same, everything else being the same. And we had stated that we needed to survey the bargaining unit. And so I have the results of that survey. I'll let Luke pass those. Thank you. I will wait.
I can pass it.
It's like you've been at
No,
You know, like
I want you to film
there you go. I just don't want to have to make you walk in front of everybody.
So
On TV.
You guys asked to see the results, and we asked 3 questions. Well, yeah, 3 questions. What level they teach, how many years the person's been teaching, and if they would like us to vote yes or no, or to accept or not accept. And so, it was a very, very difficult thing to not look at or look at. So you'll see that there's just a lot of yeses and nos. I've broke it down by number of years that the respondent has been teaching and grouped them together. So I just kind of, if you flip through, there is a total after each one, as far as how they voted. But then if you flip to the very back, or just turn it over, it breaks it down just in a nice little table. You will see that we had 152 members, teaching unit members, respond, which is, in my opinion, I think less than half. You said there's around 300 and...
Under the negotiated agreement, we're about between 320 and 325.
Okay. So a little bit less than half. 83 of them voted yes, 69 of them voted no. The table breaks it down further into which groups voted yes and which groups voted no. You will notice, based on the table, that I grouped the 20. On the survey, we asked if it was 25 to 30 and then 30 plus, but just because those 2 numbers were fairly small, I just combined them for the table.
Sure.
And so you'll notice that we had 7 respondents in that one. I don't actually know what percentage of that is of the people who are 26 to 30 plus.
Right.
I don't know how many of those individuals we have in the district at that level of teaching. But 7 of them responded. You will see that the majority of them do not want us to accept this. 1 of the 7 voted yes. Every other group was at least 50% or more. The 21 to 25 years of teaching voted at 60, almost 61% for us to go ahead and accept this offer from the board. Just kind of looking at the numbers and seeing who voted and what they voted and the number of individuals who voted, we don't really think it's a strong mandate either way. We didn't get a resounding yes, but we didn't get a resounding no. And just because of that and our sample size being fairly small, I mean, not half. If we voted half for any other election in the state or something, they'd be super excited. But I was hoping to get a little bit bigger of a percent. With our sample size being the way it is, we don't know if it's ratifiable. Like, we don't know if once we go to vote and we go and we ask teachers these questions to ratify the whole entire package, if they will or not, just because we tend to get almost every teacher voting to ratify, and they didn't vote on this. But we said we would survey, and we did. And based on the survey, we will be accepting the board's offer of 3% and everything else that is included in that.
Okay. And,
Question.
go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you go and you guys vote and it doesn't pass when everybody votes,
Mhm.
what does that mean?
It means we come back.
Okay.
It means we're not done.
And when does that vote happen?
Well, we haven't talked about that yet. We usually do it that first week back when everybody's back. And we just have people vote in person, just paper ballot, yes, no. And in the past, I have given, like, kind of gone over the whole entire proposal in front of everybody. They like to put me right before lunch, so I'll talk really fast.
Strategic.
Yes. So that's usually what happens, and then that first in-service week back, we usually encourage our building reps to have it, and then we put a due date on that vote.
Thank you.
Okay. And just to make sure that we're all on the same page, obviously the offer was 3% for the column and an additional 1,500 more for the 24-25 school year. Step and column adding $30 per month towards health insurance contribution, and then $1,500 per cell.
Right. Now, we were talking in the back, and I know I had called you with this specific question because I thought it was a good one from a teacher. I'd gotten an email about currently the teachers who have been in MA 45 for more than 2 years are getting an extra $1,000 that is not technically on the salary schedule.
Right.
And so we kind of talked through that. I talked to the team and told them about our conversation. They agreed that moving that, those people will still continue to get that. I told them about having the people who would have been getting it this year at MA 45 would still be getting it this year at MA 45. But we all agreed that it should move to the 60 column during the 24-25 school year. We didn't know if we could go ahead and just add that
Absolutely.
to the
that
wordage
will be
for
part of what we
contracts.
do. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Everyone that would have got it this year, if we hadn't done the column, will still get it.
Right.
And the folks that moved, all well and good. That will move a year down the road to the MA 60 column.
Yes.
And hopefully, someone that would be at MA 45 would then move to
So,
MA 60.
just to be clear, the people who moved this year in MA to MA 60, this would have been their first year to move. And then next year would have been their second year in MA 60.
Yep.
So they would be getting it that year.
Correct. We would handle it that way because again, we're not going to take $1,000 away for something
Right.
like that. It'll continue. We'll figure out how to word that to make that make sense.
You said they're moving to MA 60 this year,
Correct.
Correct.
and how long have they been on MA 45?
That was my question.
Right.
If they would have gotten it this year on MA 45, they'll get it this year on MA 60.
Right.
Correct. So we're not taking it away.
Correct.
Okay.
It will, and then in 24-25, it wouldn't apply to MA 45Z.
The people who have already got, well, okay, so MA 45Z.
It'll go to MA 60Z.
But what about the people who got it when they were already in MA 45Z?
We can talk about that, but I think that's one of those, they have an opportunity then and they'll have a year.
Or
to-
what about the people who are already in MA 60Z next year?
They would still get it. I think we just continue on. If they got it this year, they'll get it in the 24-25 year. Does that make sense? Right.
Okay. Great.
Say, for instance, you're an MA 45Z now, and you've
Right.
been there,
Right, and I have
and
it.
you get the 1,000.
Right.
You go to MA 60Z
I
this year,
keep
you'll
getting
get
the
the
1,000.
1,000.
Correct.
And for 24-25, you would get the 1,000.
But
Now,
not
if somebody,
an additional 1,000.
correct, correct.
That was the
Uh,
clarification I
And
wanted.
that will, and then the wording will just have it move from the 45 column to the 60 column.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, somebody coming in from outside that maybe would be placed on
I did.
MA 60Z
Right.
I'm gonna write it and see if
would be different because that would be their first year in that column. But that would be the same thing when we have somebody that comes in with MA 45Z right now.
Okay.
Everything would be the same, we just moved to the other column.
And that would be listed as your MA 45Z bonus. There should be something in there if you've been in there for 2 years, correct?
Correct.
I got it.
I have a
But it'll
quick
continue.
question, not about money, but about insurance, and it came from a member. Do we know, because we will be switching to United, correct? Do we know when that switch date will be taking?
September 1st.
September 1, okay,
It's the
thank
benefit
you.
date. You bet.
That's what I assumed, but I also didn't want to assume, because we know what happens when you assume.
And
Probably Monday or Tuesday, I'll send something out that's got all
Wonderful.
the information.
Okay.
I've been waiting for all the i's to be dotted and the t's crossed before, rather than send something out and somehow have to be changed.
and are people able to move? Like, let's say they are,
You could pick any of the options that you want.
and it doesn't have to just be the one above or below where you're at. You
No.
can skip whole levels and
Yeah.
go.
I
Okay.
think especially in regard to this year, because I think it's different.
Right.
So, that was part of what I have told them is they need to be able to, folks need to be able to be flexible, and let's face it, it's still going, United Health is a much better, I say this a little bit tongue-in-cheek, bargain for all of us than Blue Cross Blue Shield would have been.
Mhm.
Because that would have been 39%. It would have basically doubled people's contributions.
Just one other quick point. On our agenda, we need to add that we're putting in the MOU for the other part for the column next year,
Right.
correct? Not, I'm sorry, the concern was that it just wasn't on our agenda.
No,
So
It's there.
it's the and 1,500 for the.
sometimes I have trouble reading after summer school, so thank you. It's a long day.
Oh, no. Okay. So instead of doing an MOU, we were wondering if we could do just an asterisk,
Yeah,
like underneath the salary schedule, that's
Absolutely.
starting in 24,
Yeah.
25.
just like the ones we've done in the past.
Right,
correct.
Right. So it would just be an asterisk for the 1 year, and then the next year it would go away because it would have been included in
Right.
that salary schedule.
That makes it easy. Any other questions?
I don't believe so.
Okay,
Okay.
I think we're done for now then.
Sounds good.
And I'll say, and you and I will communicate once we start to get teachers back and everything and work on something to, for you to send out to the teachers.
Yes.
and That'll be great, and we'll just roll on down the road.
And then
Appreciate it.
just wordage on
Mhm.
some of the different things
Yep,
for the contract.
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Also, once you get the new information in the contract, you can send that out.
Absolutely. Mike usually has to remind me about 4 times. Because apparently it just doesn't leave my computer to where all it's supposed to go unless Mike reminds me. Fortunately, I need Mike to remind me. All right, well, thank you guys.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet.